Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fields it right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Into the air right away is Allen. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On the ball, reload.
Now they'll pitch it out here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Back at 60.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their second possession.
And I do like that word.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Throwing is Hurts. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bills are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Well, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Hurts. Quick hitch, complete. It's Smith. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Quez Watkins from 8 yards out. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just immediately just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver's at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. But if you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Ready. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. They find some open field here. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, You're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Right back to him on first down. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. The Eagles hit 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rhodes. Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's first and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. There are 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll set up a throw. He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try and run right on the option. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed?
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football. And what a nice gain on that play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith from 13 yards out. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run the counter with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Now Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. That one things on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Check Bobcat. Check Bobcat.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hustle.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line.
Pat the street. Ready.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play there. And they could barely get a glove on it before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Now they'll pitch it out here.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Down the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is nearly impossible. Let's face it. The bottom line is it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 33. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Left side, Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Second and 10 now. Third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Allen going to throw. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Here's Allen to throw it. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have the Bills first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
And the Bills first down.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Allen to throw once more. Catch made by Watson on the out route. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Second and 8 coming from the 19. Allen. That is caught at the 7. And the Bills are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
At the
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Allen off the play fake. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up losing 10 there, a full 10 yards, so that one hurts. And it brings up third and goal. Here's Allen. That is intercepted at the goal line. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A big play there for Philly. 49 yards on the ground. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On third down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Play action. Now it's Allen. He's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. On play action, Allen on the move to his left. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen finding Knox there, complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Philadelphia,